Outlander's not all about Jamie Fraser nor the steamy scenes he appears in, but we can all agree that the show had some of the best intimacy scenes on TV ever. We have Claire and Jamie's first time doing it, then we have the time when Claire was being so Jamie had to do, well, pretty bad things to her. What else do we have? Keep watching to find out. Warning, spoilers ahead.
I wake up every day and I find that I love you more than I did the day before.
Claire and Jamie's first time. Outlander is a romantic period drama about Claire, who travels back in time to the 18th century to be with Jamie Fraser. Thanks to the author Diana Gabaldon, we are seeing such intense and passionate scenes in the show. Outlander is based on Diana's book by the same name, so yes, we should all send her a thank you card for the way she created these scenes. In most of them, Caitriona Balfe's character, Claire, is guiding, and we can all agree that there's so much passion in her eyes. And then there's Heughan, the lead actor of the show, who'll steal your heart right away. Now let's check our top picks for the most intense scenes with Jamie Fraser. We couldn't help but list our favorite scene at the very beginning. We're of course talking about the first time that Jamie and Claire are intimate, the couple's wedding night. While watching this episode, we all felt a bit anxious because it took Jamie and Claire a lot of time to get to the lovemaking, and the fact that Jamie is a virgin didn't help a lot. But the wait was worth it. In the end, Claire suggests they go to bed or to sleep, Jamie replies. Either way, you're not likely to sleep in your corset. I'll help you with the laces and such. And well, the rest is history. La Dame Blanche. This is probably a scene that will prove that Outlander is not all about steamy scenes and, well, lovemaking. After Jamie went through hell in Season 1, he couldn't sleep with Claire without picturing the idiot that did him awful things back at the beginning. The blue light, the backstory, the intensity, and the chemistry, of course, make this scene one of our favorites. Claire and Jamie on the boat. Finding themselves on an unfamiliar island, Claire and Jamie are reunited on a boat, and on that boat, ladies and gentlemen, they are involved in one of the best steamy scenes ever. The fact that they're doing it on literal desk makes it even better. What do you guys think about this scene? Let us know. Dragonfly in Amber. The Battle of Culloden is the center of this episode, and this means bad news for Jamie and Claire. So Jamie demands Claire that she has to come back to her original time and travel back through the stones so that she won't be in danger. And because this also means it's their last time ever seeing one another, they perfectly know how to spend the little time they have.
You gave me a rare woman.
Lovemaking in the field. Jamie and Claire find themselves in a very intense setting while in a field, and Jamie asks her, "Does the wanting you ever stop?" He then says, "I know why they call this a sacrament because I feel like God himself when I'm inside of you." A beautiful moment until two redcoats appear and ruin everything for the newly wedded couple. And one of them attempts to use Claire. Yes, the happiness is Outlander is short-lasting. What did you guys think about the so-called honeymoon of Jamie and Claire? Let us know. America the Beautiful. In the Season 4 premiere, Jamie and Claire have the time of their lives by a crackling fire. It's a quickie, but because this is Outlander we're talking about, the scene is filled with affection and desire. This was a season where Jamie and Claire weren't doing it as often as expected, and Outlander co-executive producer Mariel Davis explained the reason for this in an interview with Glamour. This season we're introducing more characters, and there was a lot of story to get into. We've always talked about the lovemaking scenes, we love them too, but they have to be organic to the story. The Reckoning. There was a time when Claire found her place on the naughty list, and Jamie had to discipline her. Yes, this happened in a show where there's time traveling. And it was nothing like a scene from 50 Shades of Grey. In this scene, Claire actually ignored one of Jamie's demands, and because this is the 18th century, Jamie felt like he had to punish his rebellious wife. He went on to spank her with his belt, and Claire was not really happy about it. In the end, they forgive each other with a passionate, sleepover? Jamie is too busy. The camera work in this scene is something that could easily be placed on the list of best things shown on our small screens ever. Seeing Jamie in between Claire's legs is a moment fans of the show will never forget. When Claire is disturbed by the pounding on their door, Jamie drags her legs back down and says, "No." That's clearly enough for this scene to be mentioned in this video, right guys? Potatoes. This was actually the first time Jamie and Claire slept together after Claire's miscarriage. They go back to Scotland, and well, most of the episode is about potatoes. Yep. Also, Jamie was pretty enthusiastic about a vegetable throughout the entire episode. Who could blame him? After all, potatoes are the best. Later that night, Jamie and Claire make love in front of the fireplace. We really think both actors should win an award for their amazing chemistry on screen. It's unbelievable. Do you guys agree? Before we continue with some even more intense scenes, we'd love it if you smack that like button. We know Jamie would do it.
Butter is good too. I'll roast them. Or you can mash them with milk.
I didn't again you could cook, Sassenach.
I'm not sure I can cook.
Claire, Jamie, and a knife. Did you guys know that this was the first steamy scene that Balfe and Heughan ever filmed together? And they look like they've been doing it for years. This scene is after the event that saw Jamie and Claire have a huge fight, and Jamie thought it would be best for him to use a belt and punish his rebellious wife. And as we previously said, Claire was not really happy about this. When Jamie apologizes and promises he'll never hurt her again, Claire is still unsatisfied. So this time she decides to teach Jamie some equality, and she knows the perfect way to do this. They fall to the ground, and while on top of Jamie, Claire grabs his knife, places it to his throat, and says, "If you ever raise a hand to me, James Fraser, I'll cut out your heart and have it for breakfast. Do you understand me?" This is clearly a scene concentrating more on Claire than Jamie, but we couldn't go on without mentioning it because it's way too powerful. We hope we did the right thing. Oh yes, we probably watched this scene a couple of times, admit it, you've done it too. Now, we have a question for you. Outlander was definitely hot at its start, but now that we're heading into the premiere of Outlander Season 5, is it still hot? What do you guys think? Let us know.
I swear on the cross of my Lord Jesus that I give you my fealty and pledge you my loyalty.
Jamie and GENEVA, DUNSANY. Okay, this is the first time we're mentioning Jamie with someone else other than Claire, and we have to admit that it's odd watching Jamie and anyone else besides Claire, but the episode where Jamie gets close with GENEVA DUNSANY, played by Hannah James, is pretty amazing. In this episode, GENEVA decides Jamie should take her virginity because if he doesn't do it, the old-age suitor her father arranged for her to marry will. If we weren't so invested in shipping Jamie and Claire, this scene would have been one of our favorites. On a related note, is there a really steamy scene with Jamie Fraser that we forgot to mention? Let us know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed our video, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. As always, thanks for watching, guys.
Did I hurt you?
It was painful at first, but then I liked it.